Welcome everybody out there in Radio Land, all you fantastic people, my friends, fellow music lovers, ham radio enthusiasts, technological prodigies all across the fruited plain and beyond. Welcome to the fastest 2 hours in ham radio. This is World Radio League Show episode number 54. I am your extra host, Andy, November 0 Alpha Papa X-Ray, and I've got one of my co-hosts in the back room, another one watching the World Cup, and a special guest going to come on in hour 2. We'll get to all of that here in just a bit. It's going to be a great show today, guys. We have plenty queued up for you to talk about here in just a bit. But let me go ahead and bring on James. James, great to see you, my friend. It is
great to see you, Andy.
Absolutely gorgeous day here in Missouri. It's cloudy. It's been really rainy, but the temperature, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I got the windows open, so if you hear some weird noises like a dog barking or a cat meowing or whatever, I can go close the window. But man, it's fantastic. How's the weather in Georgia?
It's hot. Fun fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday was the longest day of the year.
Yeah. Hey, we're officially in summer now, aren't we, here in the Northern Hemisphere?
Yep.
I believe that's right. Yes,
so it's 87 degrees here right now in Atlanta.
I had so many things happen over the weekend that I wasn't keeping close track on it being the first day of summer. I had our wedding anniversary, my wife's birthday, Father's Day. My father and mother-in-law came down for a visit. My wife and sister-in-law had a yard sale. It was a busy weekend, so I forgot in the flurry of things that the first day of summer happened.
That's true. It's actually kind of surprising that the first day of summer is happening at the summer solstice. I would think that it would have been before that.
I think that's where it lands every year.
No, that makes sense though. I mean, yeah. I guess they just do it. I know summer gets a late start, but
absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a jam-packed weekend over there.
It's absolutely crazy. Well, guys, we have a ton of new viewers in the chat and new listeners, first-time listeners. I just want to let you know we are extraordinarily welcoming here. And, if you have questions about stuff we're talking about or about things related to World Radio League or ham radio in general, please feel free to put them in the chat. It is totally fine for you to be a first-time listener and first-time caller all in the same episode. So go ahead and drop those comments in the chat below, and we'll if you got questions, we'll try to get to those for you at some point.
I got a question for you, Andy. Yeah. Somebody asked in the chat, they said, "What is this show?"
What is
so
this
that's
show?
a good, maybe you could give us the answer.
For the ages. What is this show? Yeah, absolutely. Great question. That's debatable. What is this show? This is the World Radio League show where we talk about things related to World Radio League, ham radio in general, ham radio prep, all sorts of technological happenings, space and space exploration, space news, all those types of things, a bit of weather here and there, and maybe today livestock auctioning. Who knows? But we talk about all kinds of things on this show. And yes, what is this show? That needs to be like our new tagline. The World Radio League show. What is this show? I love that. Well, if you didn't know, which you probably didn't, if you're in this chat, the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship happened over the weekend as well. So congratulations, huge congratulations to Jace Thompson. Jace Thompson is the 2026 World Livestock Auctioneer Champion. And if I have time later in the show, I might even pull up a clip of him so that y'all know what in the world I am talking about.
I hope we have enough time in the show that you can show a little video demo of that, because that is going to be great.
And Zach also has a good. Zach's comment here is great. What isn't this show? Yeah, we cover a lot of ground. Definitely.
I wanna try something. I'm gonna give you guys really quick in 20 seconds some things to look forward to today, and then I'll go.
We're getting ready to dive into that. We were just getting ready to hit that.
Okay, go for it. Sorry. I didn't mean to step on you there.
No worries. You're all good. So we will have a couple of updates for Field Day. Field Day is this weekend, guys. So we got a couple of last minute, updates and stuff for some of the apps. We'll be talking about what's going on there and some of the awesome reception that we've had so far for the World Radio League Field Day contest event going on there. We'll be talking about a brand new DX dashboard. This thing is beautiful. Shout out Khalid, one of our developers. He did an awesome job. This thing's amazing. We'll take a look at that here in just a little bit. We've made some major updates to Morse Mastery in the last week, so we'll be showing off some of that. WRTC, I think James has got a demo for us a little bit later on some WRTC updates. We're like, what, James, 2 weeks away? Something 3 weeks away?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks away.
3 weeks away.
So 13 Colonies special event is kicking off. That is one of my favorite events. I haven't even done that much participation in it. It's just such a cool event. I really like it.
Especially with America 250 this year.
Absolutely. Let's try to get a clean sweep. And then I think we've got a couple of updates to the technician, last minute updates to the technician course. And James is going to give us a little bit more information about ham radio prep for schools. And then I left one very important morsel here for the last, and that is that in hour 2, Professor Jim N4BFR will be joining us as our special guest today to talk about ARISS, amateur radio on the International Space Station, how to operate satellites for Field Day, what he's been up to, what to look forward to in the future. So look forward to talking to Jim here in the second hour of the show. We will be doing our Are You Smarter Than a Ham Radio Prep Grad today. So I'll be questions there here in a little bit, and we'll have those in the second, third, and fourth segments of the show. Right. Catalina, as I said, is currently out. Argentina is playing today in the World Cup, and she didn't want to miss that. So she'll be in after a while. She's planning on it. So look forward to seeing
Catalina. It looks like Argentina won 2-0, so she's going to be in a good mood today. That's good news.
Wonderful. I do not care whatsoever what happens in all these rounds. I'm sorry if that offends you, but I'm very glad that Argentina won 2-0 because that means Catalina is going to be in a good mood when she shows up. And when HR's in a bad mood, boy, let me tell you, it's not pretty. Oh boy, James, how did your weekend go? How did your week go?
It was pretty chill. I have a new niece in the family, so I got
that's awesome.
Got visited by the new niece.
You say it's pretty chill, and then say you got a new niece. That's like the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Well, she's not too new. She's about 6 months now, so that was fun. Okay. Just get visiting with the baby, and all of those types of things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got a chance to play around this new DX dashboard we're going to be talking about, which is going to be great. And a bunch of my gear ordered. My NA4RR hex beam arrived here, so I'm getting ready for the big station build out. So
let's go. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear some more updates about that. It's going to be so cool. Yeah. So while we're talking about that, why don't you tell everybody, I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but tell everybody what you're doing and what kind of time frame you expect to be doing it in.
Well, I got WRTC coming up in 3 weeks, so I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to build this new hex beam before then. But for those of you who weren't here, I think either last week or week before when I talked about it, I am currently installing a Carlson roof tower, which is also just they've renamed to Carlson Towers, by the way. Okay. And I am installing a Carlson roof tower on my roof, and I'm going to be installing an NA4RR hex beam. So going to be a big upgrade from the in-fed half wave antenna that I had before, and see if I can get a little more directionality, a little more gain. and see what kind of performance I can get out of the home station. But pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with how I've designed things since I've decided that I just don't have a good situation for a tower, a full tower. So I would just really recommend anybody, I'll drop a link in the chat. If you're thinking about something, maybe you're in an area where you don't really have a tower, or maybe a tower is a little bit overkill for you. I found these Carlson roof towers to be really cool. And I'll share just really quickly while we're on topic, and then we can get back to the agenda here. But I'm just super excited for this. And if you go on their website, you can see the examples of what people have done. They've done they've done Yagi antennas. A lot of people do these sort of shortened Yagis where they have traps in them. I think like Cushcraft is a common one of those. This is more similar to what I'm doing, but it's going to be on my roof. He has the KIO 6-band hex beam. Mine is going to be very similar to this one with the NA44, and I'm going to paint it black as well. So that should be pretty fun.
Fantastic. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I've thought about roof towers. I don't know whether I'll go that route or not, but yeah, it's a really cool idea. I do have a 35 foot mast, so I'm good right now, but if I ever decide to do something a little bit beefier as far as antennas go, then it seems like a pretty good option. James, I know we all can't wait until you get one of those fantastic little Elgato 4K adapters so your video stops freezing up.
I have it, but I had a little configuration issue, so I haven't been able to set it up. So sorry about the freezing, guys. I know
I have the same camera, same system you do. There's a weird configuration thing in the settings. Let me know if you have any questions. We can talk about it after the show.
Well, hopefully you guys can at least hear me.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you. You're unfrozen right now, but just every little bit you kind of freeze up a little bit. There you go. All right. So it's field day week, guys. It is field day week, and I'm excited because I'm planning on visiting the Nixa Club at least on Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, we have a meeting out of state I got to be at, but Saturday afternoon, the plan is to be there. So we'll be there handing out World Radio League ham radio prep material and hopefully helping run one of the stations for a little bit. KE6GAE Hillbilly Ham Dave in the chat, good friend of mine, and he's the vice president of that club. So Dave, looking forward to seeing you guys on field day. We do have a couple of updates. Make sure you update to the latest version of the World Radio League desktop app before field day gets kicked off. It is version number, let me pull it up here, version number 0.1.1. I think we're gonna have a .2 actually here later today or tomorrow. 1.1.2, and it's really easy because within the app itself, it will like prompt you to update it, and it will go through the whole update flow internally, so you don't have to go do anything crazy. But it's gonna have like the My Exchange field will be added. We bumped up the font size across the app to make it more accessible. It's got just some updates that we wanted to get in before field day kicked off. Anything I'm missing there, James?
I think you nailed it. It's gonna this is the time to, if you haven't picked a club to go out and operate. If you want to go operate with a club, this is the perfect time to do it. If you don't have time to operate with a club, don't forget that, hey, people, the clubs need folks to make contacts with. So don't be afraid to get on, operate from home, and join in on the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already got this is crazy. This is a crazy style. Let me share the screen because this is so cool. If I go over here to,
and before we go on, I want to give a shout out to Terry. Terry definitely wanted this in large font. And Terry, we do even plan to even make it a little bit bigger, but thanks to your recommendation, we wanted to make sure we got this.
We bumped it up a full 2 points, and it's it's quite a bit bigger. So we'll probably even embiggen it a little bit more, or even give you an option to adjust it possibly. So, depending on how we approach that. But yeah, let me go ahead and share the screen here after I get this pulled up. Okay, there we go. Take a look at this. This is our field day. Look at this. 1,030 people already signed up. And historically, the last 2-3 days is always like rush hour, basically, of people signing up and enrolling. So we're already over our previously stated goal of 1,000. So James, what do you say? You want to target 1,500?
I would love if we hit 1,500. That would be absolutely amazing. Last year we had about 18,000 contacts logged in WRL over field day.
We're
going to blow it out with
that. Yeah,
over 20,000 contacts. I dropped the link in there, so if you aren't enrolled yet, go enroll for field day with World Radio League, and maybe Andy, just for the new guys, maybe just give them a quick rundown of how they can use World Radio League for field day.
Absolutely. Honestly, James, I think the best way to do that is to play the new video that we just launched. How about that? How's that sound?
Even better.
All right, let me pull up our brand new field day video. This one explains all the cool things that you can do with Okay, this explains all the cool things that you can do with World Radio League for field day. So let me go ahead and play this for you. James, as I start playing it, if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. So here we go. Hey guys, I'm Andy N0APX, and today we're going to take a quick walk through all of the new changes and updates for field day 2026. We've got some great stuff, including the new desktop app. We're going to show you exactly how it works for your club or your operating station. Field day is coming right up Saturday and Sunday, June 27th through 28th. Let's dive into it. Let's start by showing you exactly how to enroll in the field day event. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to the contest tab in World Radio League. I go to upcoming contests. We'll scroll down here to ARRL field day. It's going to be right here. I've already enrolled. If you have not yet, just click the join for free button. You'll be taken to this page right here. All the rules are listed right here on the rules page of the event. You can see a map of participants right here. These are all the people and clubs who have already enrolled in the event. You can check your area to see if there are any clubs close to you that will be participating. Leaderboard and stats tabs will both start populating with data once the event begins. Let's go ahead and hop over to the logbook. This is the interface that you'll be dealing with most on field day. This is what you'll be using to log your contacts, keep track of your scores, and adjust your bonuses. Now, if you're an individual operator, you're already set up and ready to go. You just select your bonuses over here in this tab, and that will update your score as you go. You can keep track of your logging stats, and you'll get a beautiful map just like any other logbook. You can also use spotting on the spotting tab right here. You'll have access to 7 different spotting clusters: POTA, SOTA, WWFF, 3DX clusters, and our own WRL cluster. This will be your logbook right here. All of the contacts you log will go into this tab. For an example, I will go ahead and log N0 WRL, 1 Delta, Golf Alpha, and let's say he's on 20 meters CW. And log that contact, and boom, pops up right here. You'll see I get that beautiful map as well as the stats. The total points will update once every 60 seconds. So if it doesn't update immediately, don't worry, it will catch up right away. You can adjust your logging template by clicking this button right here. I've got it set to Sport Logger right now. You've got several templates to choose from, and you can build your own custom logging templates as well. Now, if you're logging as a club, you'll likely want to track how many contacts each operator is making within the club. You can click on the call sign button right here in the quick settings menu. Now you have 2 options: the My Call Sign operator and the station call sign. The station call sign will be the call sign that you use on the air. This will be your club call sign if you're in a club. This is the call sign you do not want to change. It stays the same throughout the entire event.
The operator call sign is the call sign of the individual operator running the station. So suppose I'm part of club AA1RC, operating as N0APX. Now, maybe I logged for a couple of hours, and once I'm done, N0WRL is going to take my place. So just swap this out with N0WRL, click save. Now, any contacts, of course, will be logged under the AA1RC call sign, but we'll have the N0WRL call sign attached to them for some club tracking metrics. Now, if we click this view scoring breakdown button, this gives us a detailed breakdown of our entire score. Now, of course, this is logged outside of the event window, so it doesn't count for any points. But you can also adjust bonuses here, and you'll get a percentage of bonuses completed. So if I complete a couple here, you'll see that percentage goes up. You'll get a number of total QSOs, your current ranking, and total points. Now, another thing to be sure and note is to add your exchange right here for a couple of reasons. One is so that you'll remember it while you're on the air. And two is so that when you go to export your file, your exchange will be included in the proper location. Now that we've gotten a good overview of the web app, let's take a look at the brand new desktop app. This is what changes the game as far as club operating is concerned. So opening up the new desktop app here, you can see we've got this banner right at the top that allows you to easily enroll in Field Day, or if you've already enrolled, you can easily go to your logbook. Now, this looks very similar to the web interface, but you've got a couple of desktop app specific features here. You can click the view scoring breakdown. This gives you a breakdown by operator so you can see who logged how many QSOs. Of course, you've got access to all the quick settings, the template setting, the operator and station call sign setting. All of these things are here. Now, one of the main reasons this app is so cool is because it syncs perfectly in real time with the web and mobile apps. So you can set this up at each station and connect to each individual radio via local cat control. Cat control stays locally on device and connects to that station's radio. All the contacts will sync in real time, so you get live dupe checking, confirmations, and contact sync. And configuration couldn't be simpler. All you have to do is create a club account and sign each desktop app into that club account using that account's email and password. Now, if you've got some operators that are already signed into their desktop app using their personal account, you can just sign out of their personal account, sign into the club account, and connecting cat control is so simple. I'll go to the cat control tab here, and I've connected my radio before, so it remembers which radio I'm using, the ICOM 756 Pro 3. You can always click this drop down and search for your radio model. It remembers the correct serial port and baud rate, so I'll just click connect to radio, and boom, it's already connected. And you can see I've got the frequency. If I spin the dial on my radio, it updates the frequency in real time. Now, if I click over to logbooks and go to my field day logbook, you can see that it shows that cat control is connected. Now let's talk rules for just a couple of minutes. We go to the rules tab here. You see all the rules here, but just a couple of things I do want to cover. This year, as in previous years, you can claim an unlimited number of GOTA bonuses. This could be a huge asset to your club if you're planning on setting up a GOTA station. If you're new to Field Day, be sure and review the rules on classes. If I were operating from home, I would likely be set up as Class D since I don't have a good emergency power system. However, I'll likely be operating with one of my local clubs, so we'll probably be using Class A. The number given during the exchange is just the maximum number of operators on the air at any given time. Now, if you have any questions at all, feel free to post a message in the World Radio League community at community.worldradiolague.com. We also have detailed Field Day documentation on the World Radio League page. Just go to worldradiolague.com, click on documentation, scroll down to contesting and events, and we've got two separate Field Day guides, one for clubs and one for individual operating. We've even included a pre-Field Day checklist to help you make sure you've prepared everything you need for Field Day. Field Day is coming right up Saturday and Sunday, June 27th through 28th, and I can't wait to see you on the leaderboard. I'm Andy N0APX, product manager at World Radio League, saying 73.
All right. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the Field Day changes. Now, a couple of things that I did not mention is I'm finding out some clubs are using a separate call sign for their GOTA station. If you're doing that, then technically they should probably be stored in a different account. So just you can create an account under the GOTA call sign as well. I thought, oh, you can just change the station call sign. So I checked with one of the developers, and they said no. If you change the station call sign on one station, it changes it across the account, because that's the call sign that everybody in the club is using. So yeah. So you'll want to, if you're using a separate station, and I haven't dealt with many clubs using GOTA stations that much as around the GOTA system. So if you have any insight into that for me, be sure and let me know. I'm definitely open for anything there. But yeah, that is field day is definitely shaping up to be a big, massive, huge success, and I'm super, super excited about it. Anything to add there, James?
That was excellent. I would just say, if you go to worldradialeague.com, the links are everywhere. You can't miss it to get set up. It's super easy to set up. I am going to be operating with the North Fulton Amateur Radio Club, which is near me here on the north side of Atlanta. They really run an amazing operation. If anybody has a club that wants to check out how they sort of run things and wants a good example, I think they even finished first last year for their class of 3A, awesome, which was really, really cool. Awesome. So they're going to have all kinds of stations. They're going to have a CW station, a GOTA station, an SSB station, a VHF, a satellite station, which I know we'll be talking about later. And they're going to have a lot. They're going to have multiple generators going. They're going to have, it's going to be an amazing setup. So
absolutely.
Find your local club.
Several people in the chat are telling me that I didn't read the rules good enough, and that GOTA requires a totally separate logging, different call sign, everything. So yeah, just create an account under your GOTA call sign and log them there. Problem solved.
Good tip.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So yes, Dave says they're using K0A for the club radios and K0NXA for the GOTA station. That's, that makes perfect sense. Thank you for clarifying, guys. I appreciate that very much. We are already up to our first break. That we call it we don't call it the fastest 2 hours in ham radio for nothing. We are already up to our first break, and after the break, we've got, as you heard in the opening there, we've got plenty more to talk about. And we'll have the technician question for, are you smarter than a ham radio prep graduate? We'll hit that after the break here. Do not go anywhere. We'll also be talking about a little bit more to do with field day. We've got something really cool coming. We've got the new DX dashboard we're going to show off. It's beautiful. Morse mastery updates, WRTC stuff, 13 colonies event, gems coming later. It's going to be a great show. So do not go anywhere. And just in time to be fashionably late and be put right back in the back room, it's Catalina. How you doing, Catalina?
Hello. How are you?
Doing fantastic. All right. We will be right back after this break, guys. Do not go anywhere.
Hey, it's Jim, N4BFR, lead instructor here at Ham Radio Prep with an important message. If you've been following us for a while, you know how we've helped tens of thousands of people get their ham radio license with our program. But there's so much more to ham radio than just getting your license. You need to get active and start operating. That's why I'm excited to tell you about our brand new Emergency Communications 101 course. We designed this course specifically to teach you how to get on the air and learn the fundamentals of emergency communications. We break it all down in easy to understand lessons and guides with real operating examples and activities, and we talk to experts in their field. By the end of this course, you'll be able to effectively communicate during public service events and emergencies, ensuring the safety of yourself, your family, and your community. So if your focus is emergency communication, sign up today and take your ham radio skills to the next level. I'll see you in class 73.
Welcome back, everybody, to the fastest 2 hours in ham radio. I am Andy N0APX, your host. We've got James with us today, and the fabulous Miss Catalina happened to show up for.
Hello.
Catalina, how are you doing? How's your day been?
I'm doing great, fabulous.
Yeah, we heard. No, I'm kidding. How? I have about this much interest in the World Cup, but I told, not to offend anyone there, but I told James I don't care who wins all these games, but I did care that Argentina won today because it means Catalina is going to be in a good mood. So
yeah, absolutely.
Did Messi score, Catalina? He scored twice?
2 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We won 2-0, both goals.
He scored both of them. That's cool. There you go.
Yeah, and he missed a penalty at the beginning of the game that was hard, and then Messi is Messi, you know. And it was a very, very tough match, but it was great. I'm so happy. So we are in the next phase now, and I'm very happy.
So, folks, as we move in on to segment 2 of the World Cup show. No, I'm kidding.
I can talk more about the World Cup. You know?
we do have plenty more to talk about here. Let me wrap up the field day updates here. James, I see you put this 0.3 on this field day week on our show notes. Why don't you tell everybody about that quick, and then we'll move on.
Okay, I'll make it real quick.
Awesome.
If you guys have done any operating events with us before, you know that there are different awards that you can win. So if you don't have a good reason to just jump in, even if you're not going to be able to participate in the full-time field day, create an account with World Radio League and log at least one contact, and you will get a new Field Day 2025 award. So as you can see, I've done Field Day 2026 award. I've got the 2025 award. I've got the Winter Field Day and the Field Day 2024 award, and even the Winter Field Day. So make sure you sign up today so you can get the award as well.
Absolutely. Very awesome. All right. Speaking of all our awards and everything, I just want to give Marvin a shout out. Marvin, president of Winter Field Day, awesome partner. Just got back from a trip activating parks across Alaska and Canada. Good to see you, Marvin.
Oh, very cool.
Absolutely. All right. It is time to announce something here and show it to you. James, do you want to pull this up and get it ready to screen share? You've been really close to this, and so maybe you can walk us through it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody what it is while you get it pulled up here. Guys, we have something new to show off. We have the brand new DX dashboard on the analytics page in World Radio League. This thing is it's awesome. It's beautiful. Kala did an incredible job with this. So, James, why don't you walk us through it and show us what all's going on here?
All right. We are super excited for this feature because previously, before this feature, you could only track 100 countries. We didn't have the full list in there. And here's a quiz question for you guys. Do you know how many DX entities, aka countries, you could call them, but they're not exactly the same as the political version of countries, are in ham radio? How many countries are in ham radio? Let's see if somebody will put it in the chat. But it is the World Radio League after all.
You've got it displayed right here in front of us. So
well, we'll see who's really paying attention. Okay. 3. Close, Peter.
Close.
Peter, 320. Close. Very close. It is actually all the way up to 340. So you can track your contacts all the way up, but there's also more detailed views. So you can see which ones you've worked on: CW, phone, digital, satellites. You can see how many you have confirmed. You can check them by different bands and modes. You also have some improved mapping and analytics here.
Yeah.
And you also have deeper dives into your analytics. If you need to get some of those countries confirmed for your awards, this is a great place to pop in and go request those confirmations on the ones that are missing. If you want to cycle out and see which bands and modes you have worked them on, this is a great place to do it. And then I just love this DX entity list as well. So as you're exploring different countries, we've ranked them by difficulty. So,
but you can sort them however you want, though. You can sort them here multiple different ways.
Absolutely. So if you're looking at super rare, look at these. Of course, you're going to have
DPR Korea. Yes. Yeah. Good luck working.
Is that actually the official name? Let's see.
Yeah, DPR Korea. Yep.
Super rare, right? So I mean, you're
good
probably
luck working them anytime soon.
Exactly. I mean, that would be, and then you've got the easy ones, and like since we're celebrating Argentina today, we'll hop in. You can see the top operators there. You can learn.
And I love the new. We also we launched the new pop-up for a new country worked. And I think that is so cool because it gives you like a few facts about the country and the country flag and number of operators there. It's such a cool little pop-up, and I really like that.
Maybe we can pull up. I'm trying to remember who made a post about it in our
Caleb.
Discord.
It was Caleb. Let me see if I can find
I think it's
quick. Let's see here. I cannot remember which channel he posted that in.
Here we go.
Got it? And guys, if you want to join our Discord, the link is in the description below this video. Just go ahead and go join the Discord if you want to.
Yeah, so Caleb, one of our great power users, shared. So this is every time you get a new country in the log, you get this really, really awesome pop-up saying, hey, you've got a new country in the log. It's good. Your analytics are going to be updated, and then it gives you some facts about it, and you can go to the country tracker straight from there. So thank you, Caleb, for posting this in the Discord as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Caleb. That was really cool. Charlie's got a great question. Are deleted countries included in the list?
It's the official DXCC entity list from the ARRL. I think there's 340 entities on that.
I'm not sure if that does it include. Do they have only the current active ones, or do they also include deleted ones?
I believe it may include some deleted entities. I want to say that for sake of completeness, but that's a really good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Super Tech Boy says, just got his technician license with the aid of Ham Radio Prep. That is absolutely awesome. Super Tech Boy,
congratulations.
Getting your technician license. That's really cool. Speaking of which, here in just a moment, we're going to jump into Are You Smarter Than a Ham Radio Prep Grad? The tech question. VA2 PHB loves the new dashboard. EOD Kaboom says they have 62 deleted countries in the ARRL DXCC. So there you go. All right. What else do we have? Thank you, James, for doing an awesome demo on that. That's really cool. We're gonna keep it with you for a couple more minutes here. Tell us about WRTC, what's going on there, and what's coming up.
Ooh, okay. This is amazing. So we, first of all, here's a little kind of cool news for you. We are actually on the homepage for WRTC on QRZ.com. So check this out. Right there, front and center on the homepage. First public look at the WRTC 2026 live scoreboard. So shout out to Kevin Thomas, K3LR, Tim Duffy from DX Engineering, and a lot of the folks who we gave a demo to, and go watch the YouTube video from Kevin Thomas where we give a demo. But since you're here with us right now, I can actually give you guys a demo of all of the latest features just live really quickly.
If you can give us a quick demo. We got plenty more to cover, but if you can give us a quick demo, that'd be awesome.
I'll make it super fast because we've got so much going on today. But this is going to be the World Radio Sport Team Championship, the top ham radio contesters. Don't miss it, July 11th. We have built a fully custom UI for this for the top contesters where they're going to be competing. You'll have your spotting built in, but it also has these beautiful visualizations so you can see those top teams compete against each other. Guys, this is just like the World Cup, but for ham radio. I mean, these are the top 100 guys from all over the world. Leaderboards. You've got statistics where you can compare how the teams compete against each other. And then recently, just launched today, is these brand new team dashboards where you get detailed views of each individual teams, their QSO rates, their bands, their modes. So this is really going to be great. And the thing we'll be debuting very shortly is for you guys at home, you'll be able to track how many of those 50 WRTC stations you're able to make a contact with. You're only going to have 24 hours to do it, so you got to be fast. You'll be able to track your own statistics as you operate from home as well. So we've got information about it on our homepage. A lot of people have been asking, where do I go to get more information? We have our timer here on our homepage. As soon as it's updated onto our main website, there will be a link so you can enroll and get updates about that as well.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Well, while many of y'all, I'm sure, were enjoying Father's Day weekend, having barbecues with your families, watching the World Cup and all the things that you were doing, I actually had my eye on a different event that was going on, the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. So we told you at the start of the show that we'll play a clip for you. Let me go ahead and play that for you now. Congratulations to Jace Thompson, 2026 World Livestock Auctioneer Champion. What a great chant this guy's got. Let me go ahead and play this for you real quickly. There's so many of you probably have no interest in this, but this is the World Radio League show with your host, Andy N0APX. So I'm going to play it anyway. Here we go.
5, 7, 80, 482, and now 5, 6 here, 85, 86, and now 6, 7, 87, and I got 86 right here. You got to be 7 to go. Now 8, and now 488, all going to be 8. Now 9, 489, and now 90, now 1, 492, and now 2, 3, 492, now 3.
So Jace won the 2026 World Livestock Auctioneer Championship. Congratulations to him. There was a draft, the semifinal draft of 31 contestants, brought it down to the top 10, and then down to Jace is the winner. Yes, Zach has it. He would be a pile-up champion by all means. Oh, I've got to do this sometime. I have got to do this sometime. That would be so awesome.
I have nothing to add. Zach nailed it.
I want to do that so
guy, if you get that guy a ham radio license, it's over.
I4ZD down here now. That would be so hilarious. Oh my lord. Oh, that would be so hilarious. Yes, indeed. Great.
But wait, Andy, do you understand what he's saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I listen to him, yeah, it was at 460, 465, I think. Which cattle prices are insane right now. So. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right. So moving on to more ham radio related things. Get this train back on the tracks here. Great updates as far as WRTC goes. Really awesome to see that. WRTC is going to be such a huge event, and I'm so excited about that. And I'm hoping we can do some sort of a live stream during the event. Of course, we're gonna have a couple of guys on the ground there, James included, at WRTC. So maybe we'll be able to get some footage out of there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I would love to be able to do something like that. So we'll see what we can put together. James, I'm sending back over to you, my friend. You've got some updates for Ham Radio Prep, Tech Pool, and I know the new technician pool is going into effect July 1st.
Right.
So at this point, if you're starting to study for tech, I would recommend you go ahead and start studying the new question pool, unless you're just like Superman and you're going to study and take it and within the next week. But I would highly recommend you just go ahead and start studying with the new pool. So James, why don't you give us, any updates you have there, and any updates on the program we announced a week or two ago, Ham Radio Prep for Schools? What else going on there?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you said it perfect. The big news is, listen, guys, technician, the license, new questions go into effect on July 1st. So after June 30th, when we move over to July 1st UTC time, the new question pool officially goes into effect. So do make sure, I know most of the folks on here are licensed. If you're not licensed, as Andy said, There's only 8 days until July 1st, so go ahead and just start studying with the new questions. And the great thing about this is from Ham Radio Prep, those questions are available at no additional charge. If you have purchased the technician license course from Ham Radio Prep before, you automatically get the new course with the new questions. And if you are purchasing right now ahead of July 1st, we just give you both courses. And this includes people who purchase the course by itself or anybody that purchases it as a bundle as well. So when you go into either your mobile app or your web portal, you'll just see the 2022 to 2026 version. That is going to disappear on July 1st. So make sure you are studying the 2026 to 2030. What makes the Ham Radio Prep program special is everything has video lessons. So instead of just taking endless practice tests and quizzes, you actually learn the concepts along the way. So could be a great recommendation for the new ham in your life. And I'll just keep rolling because I know we got a lot to cover today. The Ham Radio Prep for Schools program, every single time someone purchases one of our courses, we try to put that back into things that we're able to do into the community. And one of those amazing efforts is the Ham Radio Prep for Schools program. And in a nutshell, we want to put ham radio prep into every school in America for free. That's right, for free. So if you are a qualified educator, and that means K-12 teachers, college instructors, homeschool co-ops, youth education programs, STEM clubs, maker spaces, career and technical education, all you have to do is go to the Ham Radio Prep for Schools website, which I am going to link here below, and apply. And we are going to give you a full classroom full of free ham radio prep courses. And it's perfect because it's structured. It has, you watch a video, you take a text lesson, you take a quiz. And if you're in a qualified K through 12 school, the great thing is the students can actually walk away with a license that they can put on their resume and their college applications, which is great. And we really hope this is going to just generate a huge interest and get thousands and thousands of new young ham radio operators on the air. So spread the word about this program, guys.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, we are already we're going to be pushing the clock here. So let's go ahead and do Are You Smarter Than a Ham Radio Prep Grad, the technician question, round 1 of part 4 of this game. So Catalina, give me a modifier key. What do you want me to use for the drawing here, the answer drawing?
Question mark.
A question mark. I like it. All right. You're going to go question mark and then the correct letter of the answer. So, or the letter of the correct answer, I should say. So, all right, we're going to put a question mark and the answer, no spaces, nothing like that, just question mark and then the letter. The question is for the technician pool, and all you do is when I start playing this track, I'm going to play it through 3 times and then we're going to draw a winner after that. All you do is I'll read the question and the multiple choice answers. You just pick the letter of the answer you think is correct and put a question mark in that letter, and we'll do the drawing after the end of the 3rd time playing the music track through, and whoever got it right will be in that drawing pool. So here we go. Let's go ahead and pull up our game track. All right. Whoops. Let's go ahead and show the question first. There we go. Now we'll start the track. All right. Why do most level? A, to protect the RF output amplifier transistors. B, to comply with FCC rules on spectral purity. C, because power supplies cannot supply enough current at high SWR. Or D, to lower the SWR on transmission line. Put question mark and then the letter of your favorite answer in the comments below. All right, we're getting answers already. Whether they're correct or not remains to be seen. Second time
see some
through.
votes for A going into the chat here.
Seeing some. Dave didn't hear the
Yeah,
question.
your microphone cut out a little bit while you're reading the question.
Dave didn't hear the question. Let's read it again. Why do most solid-state transmitters reduce output power as SWR increases beyond a certain level? Is it A, to protect the RF output amplifier transistors, B, to comply with FCC rules on spectral purity, C, because power supplies cannot supply enough current at high SWR, or D, to lower the SWR on transmission line? Jim's in the back room here showing an answer to us on the camera behind the scenes. We will not show him because he was he has definitely been through this. Jim, I'm sorry, but I think you were wrong actually.
Come on, it's finishing.
Almost done here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's hit the draw button on that. Everybody in the chat, I think almost everybody got it right. So the correct answer is A, to protect the RF output amplifier transistors. And maybe I saw your answer wrong, Jim. I don't know, but the winner of that, I just ran the drawing. The winner is Droner Wayne. I need a call sign from you, Wayne. If you can put a call sign or a way to contact you in the chat, something. Let me know you're still here. Give me a call sign, something like that, so I can get in touch with you and send you the stickers here. Congratulations on your win. Let's see if he's still with us. If not, we can always draw again. I'm assuming he's still going to be here. Can
you repeat the name just in case?
What's that?
Can you repeat the winner name?
Yeah, Droner Wayne, at Droner Wayne. This guy right here, right there. You can let me know if you're still around. If not, then I'll give you till after the break to show up and provide us with some way to contact you. If you're in the Discord, you can always DM me there too during the break. But guys, we got tons more to talk about. Let's rapid fire the 13 Colonies special event here, so we can go ahead and get that one talked about, and then we can really focus in on talking to Jim on the other side of the break. James, what are you hearing about 13 Colonies event? Sounds like it's going to be really cool this year.
It certainly is. And let me just give you guys a quick screen share. Let's take a look at 13 Colonies, and let's take a look at what other ham radio events we have coming up. Everybody knows about Field Day, so we don't have to talk about that again. But if you go to the upcoming contest, you will see 13 Colonies. There's also a couple other pretty cool events coming up that are worth keeping a track of. But if you go into 13 Colonies, look at this. They've made a really cool graphic this year. And it also gives you the link straight from here to the actual 13 Colonies event. So you can see all of the special event call signs that are going to be active, and a little bit more information about the 13 Colonies event as well. So
I was
go out and try to work these, try to work the 13 Colonies. I mean, I think that's the
special station in France, and all the good things there. I was part of an interview with one of the guys running one of the 13 Colonies stations here last week. It was a really cool interview over on Ham Shack TV channel. And it sounds like they've got some surprises in store this year, actually, that they're not even announcing yet. So keep an eye on some of the press releases coming out of 13 Colonies event. Sounds like it could be pretty cool this year. So absolutely. All right. We still haven't heard from our winner. The winner of the drawing there was Droner Wayne. I'm giving you until when we come back from the break to respond to us in the chat. Let us know you're still here. If you're not, then we'll redraw and pick a new winner. But guys, do not go anywhere. Jim is on the other side of the break here, and we're going to be interviewing him and talking to him about all sorts of cool things, ARISS related and Jim related and all that good stuff. So do not go anywhere. We will be right back after this break, and we got plenty more to cover. We've even got the Morse mastery updates to cover. We've got we got plenty more to talk about, guys. Do not go anywhere. We're gonna have a lot more fun. The show's not over. Stick around.
Are you ready to ditch that 90s ham radio logging software and upgrade to something from this century? Well, now you can. Welcome to a brand new era of software in ham radio, World Radio League. Whether you're a brand new ham radio operator just getting started or a seasoned veteran looking to upgrade your logging experience, World Radio League is the ham radio tool suite for you. Its sleek, modern design brings ham radio into today's world. No more digging through endless menus to find basic features. It's all right in front of you, ready to go with just a couple clicks. An extremely customizable logging interface is just the beginning. We integrate with 7 spotting networks to make finding your contacts that much easier. Plus, we offer many custom mapping and analytics tools so that you can view your contacts your way. We have all sorts of tools tailored to contesting, POTA, SOTA, WWFF, and other activities as well. And it gets better. With our cloud-based log storage, you can access your logs using our fully featured web interface in tandem with our robust mobile app. You can log into your account on any device and even log contacts offline, syncing them to your online account later. The best part? Logging with World Radio League is free. Just set up an account and start logging. Want to use advanced features like large log imports and analytics? Upgrade to a premium plan starting at only $3 a month. Join a huge community of ham radio operators at the fastest growing ham radio software platform available by creating your free account at worldradioleague.com today, or search for World Radio League in your favorite app store.
Welcome back, all you fantastic peoples, to the fastest 2 hours in ham radio. I am Andy N0APX, your extra host for episode 54 of the World Radio League show. Welcome back to the third half of the show, in which we bring our very fabulous Professor Jim into the show along for the ride, and let's hope we don't drive him too crazy. James, Catalina, still with me here on the show. I'm so glad Argentina won today, because that means no HR violations for me for the next 24 hours.
Why? Well, maybe yes, because I'm in a good mood. I'm happy.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Jim. Jim,
all right.
N4BFR, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Argentina won the
Hello.
Yeah.
Yay.
They won the apparently whatever.
They won.
whatever
Messi
draft-
won 2-0 today. Messi scored 2 goals.
Oh,
so,
isn't that nice?
Absolutely.
New record.
For sure.
Did you get a red card?
Yeah. He has a new record.
Your record, nice, very nice. Well, Jim, it is fantastic to see you, sir. How you doing?
It's good to be seen. I'm doing
Yeah.
well. Thank you very much.
Great, that's great. So, how are things going? Let me swap this out here so we can talk to you properly. There.
Sure.
How have you been doing lately? What's been going on in Florida?
I have been been doing some family stuff. That's been taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But when I'm able to get a few minutes, I've been working on the studio here and
Awesome. Studio
improving that.
73.
And I'm sorry.
Studio 73, right?
Studio 73, that's what I call it. And I've actually had some time to make some contacts. In fact, I have had, I don't know if fallen in love is the right word, but I've really started enjoying making FT8 contacts. And so,
Yeah, very nice.
I made, just this month, I've made 172 contacts, and
Wow.
just about all of them are FT8. 162 FT8, 10 sideband. So,
Very nice, very nice.
So enjoying doing that, and
I'm having a horrible common mode current problem with my setup right now, or signal coupling on something somewhere, and I cannot get FT8 to work properly right now. It's all noise and no signal. Well, I mean signal, but not clean signal. Yeah. Anyway, something I've been trying to figure out how to solve, but we'll get there eventually. So, man, I know
I
you've
got a
been
funny story about that. Actually, I was working on the checking the bug reports and feature requests over the weekend. And we got a request that came through from N4BFR. I was like, hey, wait, I recognize that call sign. It was funny because Brad K4AZ had already responded to him. I was like, Brad, we gotta add a little extra oomph on this request. You know, this is coming from Professor Jim. But I don't even know if he noticed because he was working through so many of them.
That's so funny.
it was just a feature request. So I can explain what it was. Back when we were doing the POTA course, one of the things we talked about was different radios that you could get, including a small QDX radio that's about the size of a deck of playing cards. And I had said then I ordered one, but I hadn't had it in time for the videos. Well, I got it. And I said, I'm going to take that out and try and do an activation with it. So a couple of weeks ago, I took it out, set up my laptop to do the FT8 stuff, and then had my tablet alongside to do the logging because that's the way I like it. And I noticed that on the tablet number bar there, that it had like 0 to 9 and / but it didn't have plus or minus for putting in FT8 exchanges. So that was what my ask was.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. If we could just look and see you're in the mode of FT8 and then switch the number bar to add the plus and minus. It's a great,
just a little, just a little feature request.
So there's go ahead.
Hopefully, I'm going to be able to go out in a week or so. So here's the cool part. Well, sorry, long story, but whatever.
You're good.
So I put that gear together and I tested it because I wanted to see if I could potentially pack that in a box, send it to my sister in Connecticut, and then when I'm visiting her next week, activate with it. So it is sitting in a box on my sister's porch right now. And if all goes well, I will be able to go to a park in Connecticut and bust it out and not have had to lug it around in my suitcase or anything like that. So that's what I'm hoping for, that it all works out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So there's probably a somewhat small percentage of ham radio operators who are also interested in watches. So what watch are you wearing today? Are you wearing one?
Yeah, just my Apple Watch today.
Okay. Oh, I thought I saw one on your other arm. I thought I saw.
No, it's just that's called a road ID. It's just kind of an alert bracelet.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I know you're into watches, so that's why I asked. I thought I saw one. All right. We already have a question for the professor in the chat here. Super Tech Boy 1 asking, I wonder which microphone back there is Professor Jim's favorite.
Well, I have to say the favorite one is the one I'm using, and it's the Heil PR40.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right there.
What do you think about the purple pill back there? Do you like that one?
I really like this one, except for it has some kind of, this is the PR77D.
Yeah.
It has some kind of short in it somewhere. So someday when I get a free few minutes, I got to take it apart and see if I can't get it working properly. The other one I have that I like is a shark fin, is called the Heil shark fin. And that is in a box on its way to DC to be used this week for my activity up there.
Cool. Very cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, Jim, I know that that you've got a lot going on right now, but one of the big things that you have been working on from time to time is ARISS, and I've got
Yes.
a little. I don't know if you want me to pull this up now or later. I know we've got a little post you shared. Do you want me to pull that up now, or you want to
Sure,
talk a few
sure, go
minutes
ahead.
before we get there?
But,
Okay, let's go
so
ahead.
while you're pulling it up, I'll give the
Yeah.
context of my stuff.
Yeah.
Right before I started with Ham Radio Prep, so about 4 years ago, I started volunteering with ARISS, Amateur Radio, on the International Space Station. And it's the group that, whose mission is to help activate STEM activities through amateur radio and the International Space Station. So every mission on the space station, there's usually at least 2 hams, sometimes 3 or 4, but there's at least 2 hams, and they make ham radio contacts with STEM groups, whether it's students or last week it was the Youth on the Air event in
Yeah, that was so
Huntsville.
cool.
Well, this week coming up, it's going to be with students at the National STEM Festival in Washington, D.C. And I'm very excited to say that I have been asked to be the moderator for this contact. So
Very nice.
I leave tomorrow morning for DC, and Thursday morning it's going to be me and 10 STEM students in a room, and we're going to be talking to Chris Williams on the ISS.
Very cool. That is really
Wow,
awesome.
that's really cool.
That is really, really awesome. Lee is asking, are there any of the Russians on the space station that are hams?
There are Russian hams. So there's 2 radios in the space station. One is in the Columbus module. That's the one you actually see Chris on in this picture. That is the crossband voice repeater. And that is what's used for US and Europe and Japan contacts. And then there's another radio in the service module, I'm going to say this wrong, the Vezda service module. And that is used by the Russians for their voice STEM contacts, as well as they do. Right now, it's set up for APRS. It's a packet radio, so it's set up for APRS. But a lot of people love doing ARISS slow scan TV. That comes through that radio as well. So the Russians kind of take care of their STEM contacts plus SSTV and APRS, and then the US and Europe teams take care of the voice repeater and the STEM contacts for those groups.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. So apart from setting up these kind of events, what else does ARISS do? What's their mission?
So current mission is multi-purpose, but I'll go back. It started off 40 plus years ago when a group of hams, many of whom worked at Johnson Space Center in Houston, worked with a guy who was going up on Skylab. And that guy's name was Owen Garriott, and he was a ham, and his father had been a ham. Owen said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could take a radio up with me on Skylab? Well, it didn't work on Skylab. They just weren't able to get all the pieces together in time because you can't just take an HT off the shelf and take it into space. There's antenna issues for one, and 2, NASA doesn't let anything into space that isn't certified 10 ways, and they make sure it's not going to catch on fire and all these other things. Plus, there's interfacing things, right? You're not just going to send up a mic, and you want to be able to record things, those kind of things. So STS-9, Owen Garriott, made the first contact from space it'll be 42 years ago in November. After that, everybody said, hey, this works really well. Let's make it a regular occurrence. And let's formalize this. And it was formalized into a group called SARX, Shuttle Amateur Radio Experiment. And there were versions of Russians called the Mirex, and there was also a German version, SafeX. But the whole idea behind all of those was we want to use this as a tool to inspire kids to get into radio and the sciences and electronics and via amateur radio. So since the beginning of SARX, Owen didn't make any school contacts, but beginning with SARX, schools were regularly part of the plan where ham operators who were also astronauts would call down and make scheduled contacts as well as unscheduled contacts as well. So just like you and I like to get on the air and play radio sometimes, astronauts like to get on the air and play radio too.
Yeah,
and in fact, back in the old days of the ISS in particular, you weren't able to kind of Skype home to your family, but the radio was there. So you could actually, as you were passing over Houston or wherever your family was, you could make a radio contact with your family. And that was one of the primary ways that the early ISS crew did it.
That's crazy. That's
absolutely
insane to think about or to think about an astronaut using amateur radio just to chat with his family back on Earth.
Absolutely. So
over 200 astronauts, I think it's something like 220 or 230, have been licensed since we started keeping track in the program.
That's awesome. That's really incredible.
I got a question for James.
Go for it, James.
For I mean, I think it's awesome what this does for STEM education, for students, and for inspiring maybe an interest in a career in space and technology, but also amateur radio as a whole. And I've seen a lot of the videos about are awesome. Like how many school contacts does ARISS like target to do? How do you guys, because I know this is part of the bigger program here.
No, that's a great question. The goal for ARISS is to do between 60 and 100 student contacts a year. So at least one a week. That includes all around the world. So right now, especially, there is a young lady on station right now from France, and there have been a lot of France contacts in order to for her to take advantage of that. So so that's been a really fun activity. How you get into it will vary depending on your part of the world. So I'll try and give the short version of that. If you are in the US, you work there's 5 ARISS groups, and each one has responsibility over a different part of the world. So if you're in the US, you're working with ARISS USA. If you're in the rest of North America, North and South America, ARISS Canada handles all of the potential contacts there. In Europe, Africa, the Middle East, there's an ARISS Europe group. In Russia, there's ARISS Russia. And in Asia and Australia, New Zealand, there is ARISS Japan. So each group helps set up a different number of contacts, and there's a process you go through. So let me tell you a little bit about the process in the US, and I won't go into too much detail here. But generally, in the first month or so of every quarter, ARISS will put out the word that says they are accepting proposals for contacts, and they are asking educators, this is important, not hams, educators, to apply to be a contact. We can find the hams who want to help put astronauts on the air. We want to find the schools that want to have astronauts put on there. So they're asking educators to apply. And there's a process where they'll fill out a few-page form, and they'll talk about things like, here's how I'm going to integrate it into my curriculum. And there's lots of cool things. So it's not just, well, I'm going to have a school assembly and have this, or teach a few kids about ham radio. Some schools have a school-wide contest to design the mission patch to be for the ARISS contact. So that gets art involved. Some schools go to gym class and say, hey, we're going to exercise like an astronaut this week. And they do all the work exercises that astronauts do. So there's a lot of different ways that they involve it, but those are the kind of things to get the whole school and the whole group involved in what's a pretty exciting 10 minutes.
That is so incredible. I'm having to keep track of all the questions that are popping up in my head here as we go. So, first of all, how many of these are organized by just the student groups versus teachers, educators, that type of thing? Because I have seen there are some just student groups that take the initiative to put the whole thing together.
Yeah, there are. There's one in particular that stands out in my head that a group, a high school group in Pennsylvania did a contact, and they got on the Today Show. They set up all their own radio gear and all got licensed and did everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
Most of the time what happens is an educator applies, and ARISS reviews their proposal and select, the right amount every quarter that we can, that we think are going to be effective, because these are expensive. So talking about the sunken cost that goes into it, think about how much it costs per minute to be for astronaut activity on the ISS, right? Yeah. So the value of, and that is donated, but the value of it is pretty substantial. I mean, it's in the thousands of dollars. So we want to make sure that, so part of ARISS's responsibility is to making sure that these are going to be as effective as possible. And that's one of the ways they're judged. But get the applications in, judge them. And then there's a 6-month process, 6 to 8 to 9 month process where they're assigned to 2 mentors. One is an educational mentor to help you with all the school related things, and one is a technical mentor. So if you didn't have a ham radio group, either these groups would do it, or they would help you find one, or they would set up what's called a telebridge. And that's what we're doing this week. What a telebridge is we use the online streaming technology like this to our advantage. So we wanted to talk to the National STEM Festival folks. There is only, the STEM Festival is on one weekend. We were locked in and had to make a contact that weekend. So what do you do if the space station isn't actually going to be overhead while the event is happening? Yeah. We have a group of folks, ARISS does, called the Telebridge Network. And these are stations who have very nice setups and are able to take in the questions via Zoom or telephone line or, streaming. And then they relay them up to the crew members. So the student will stand up and they'll say their question. A very popular question is, how do you go to the bathroom on the space station? Over. And then when the student says over, the telebridge operator unkeys, and we hear the astronauts answer gets passed through, and then that just repeats.
And I don't know if we want to dive too deep into the answer to that question on this stream. You'll have to make an ARISS contact in order to
there you go.
Find that out. So I'm going to pivot just a tiny bit here. And in no way, ARISS is an awesome organization, very cool. And in no way do I want this to come across as controversial. But a question that pops into my mind is, have we seen a decline in just astronauts getting on the air to make contacts with everyday hams that aren't scheduled contacts since this kind of program has started?
It's very up and down, and I'm going to explain it this way. There are astronauts who love ham radio. Yeah. And so they want to go up and make as many contacts as they can, and they want to spend their free time on the radio. Very famously, early on, Mike Fink is one of those crew members where he spent a lot of his time on the radio. Now, he was just up there in Expedition 73, 74. 73, 74. But he didn't make as many contacts this time because there's so many other things to do. Don Pettit's a great example. He made a bunch of contacts and was licensed and made some casual contacts. But in general, his focus was on photography on this mission. So he went up with a I'm going to spend all my spare time taking pictures of sprites and atmospheres and other things like that. So it really depends on who you get up there. I will say that last year for field day, 2 crew members were active on field day, talking to hams. during the event. This year, as of right now, no one has put their hand up and said, I'm going to do field day for sure. But part of that is because there's a spacewalk the very next day.
Oh,
And
wow.
so,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
not gonna do field day because I'm getting
Yeah.
ready to go out and
Yeah.
walk around in
Yeah.
space. So
Yeah.
so those are the kind of things that we deal with. And there's,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things people can do in space.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
don't have qualitative numbers that say
Yeah.
more or less. I will say it's probably lower than it was,
Mhm.
but
But
it still happens.
in reality, those type of contacts are just in astronauts' free time. ARISS contacts are more scheduled events, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
They're still officially astronaut free time donated.
Okay. Okay.
But in as far as how it's logged in the books, but in general, they are yes, when we call them casual contacts with the crew, when a crew just picks up the mic on the repeater, and you don't have to do anything but dial into the ARISS repeater. When the crew picks up the microphone and starts working the repeater, they'll start working you and say, hey, this is NA1SS, welcome to the International Space Station. And you can just log them from that whenever they want. So definitely happens.
Absolutely. We got another question.
I'll cover this one really quick because I think it's cool. We were talking about earlier on the show, we are now launching a ham radio prep for schools where teachers are eligible for a free classroom of students. So Peter had a good idea. ARISS School Demo is a place for your free courses. I'd say absolutely it's just ham radio. I actually even updated the URL since we've been on here, hamradioprep.com/schools. Any teacher that applies, all you have to do is just be a real teacher or eligible educator, and you will get a free classroom of students.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Great thinking there. A couple, we got slowly but surely, we got some more questions trickling in the chat here. We will be taking a break here in just a couple minutes, and then we'll come back and answer more questions. But I'm going to hit this one here. KA2AUB is asking, what is the best way to talk teachers into applying?
Where else can you do a once in a lifetime activity like this? I think that's the position. You can go and get a once in a lifetime activity for your school. It involves, the best proposals involve a lot of collaboration across your school. But once you collaborate with those folks, it can really be powerful. Like I said, you bring the gym teacher in, you bring the art teacher in, you build it into your science piece. And the other cool piece is that in the US, teachers who are accepted get to come to what we call a Sparky workshop, and they will learn how to teach ham radio and the concepts here in a classroom, and they will go home with a kit of materials that they can use to showcase these things. So it includes things like a Raspberry Pi with an SDR dongle so they can see and listen to the radio. There's slinkies to demonstrate propagation and how radio waves travel. There's circuit building kits, those kind of things. A little robot for those kind of things. And so there's a lot of good collaborative material that can be used to build a whole, month's worth of classroom activities.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. That's really good stuff. One more question before we go to the break. And guys, put your questions in the chat for Jim. Jim, I'm assuming you're still going to be here for the after we get back from break, right?
You got me for the next half hour.
Awesome. Yep. One more question. Keep putting them in the chat so we can ask Jim plenty more of them on the other side of the break. But one more question we've got now is the repeater locked down so others can't transmit over ARISS over the repeater?
During the STEM contacts, the repeater is taken offline and a different set of frequencies is used. So if you want to listen to just the ARISS STEM activities, you want to turn into 145.800 megahertz. And then there is a unique uplink frequency that is not published that the station on the ground will use to transmit up. So those are set up differently than, and used separately from the repeater frequency. So when the repeater's online, it's 437, 800 megahertz down and 145.990 up with a PL of 67 hertz. Or I'm sorry, I get yelled at when I say PL. CTCSS of 67 hertz.
It's PL. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys, we are up against a break at this point. We're going to go ahead and take that. Jim's going to be with us for another half hour, so be sure and keep putting your questions in the chat. We'll also be talking to Jim about some we'll be showing Jim some of our Morse code stuff because Jim, I think you're going to be participating in our team challenge potentially. I think James sent you a V-band adapter, maybe. So
somebody sent me a Morse code kit, but I haven't.
Yeah, if you have
I haven't
time,
even opened the box yet.
If you have time, then you will be part of an already violent competition. Me and Ahmed are going back and forth with each other at this point. But yeah, we're really excited.
It might be in a drawer here somewhere.
All right.
Well, you can hang out and watch us, or if you plug it up, you can. I'll give. Yeah. I'm not hard to beat right now. I'll be honest.
Okay. We'll talk about that after the break. We'll also talk about plenty more space stuff. And Jim, I have a picture to show you after the break. So do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere, guys. We have tons more to discuss. Super excited to have Jim back with us. So let's go to break and be right back after this quick word from our.
Imagine setting up your ham radio in a state or national park like this one. Surrounded by nature.
And making contacts with people all over the world.
That's what Parks on the Air is all about. It's one of the most fun and rewarding ways to participate in ham radio.
POTA is for everyone.
Activators head out to parks to experience nature, while hunters try and contact them from home. With over 500,000 participants worldwide, there's an activation happening every day. And in fact, there's probably an activation going on in a park like this right now.
But if you're new, getting started can be overwhelming. From picking the right gear and antennas to setting up in the field, logging contacts, and following the rules.
That's why we created the Ham Radio Prep POTA course, your guide to getting started with Parks on the Air. We'll walk you through everything step by step, from choosing equipment to setting up, on-air operation, and logging.
This course will get you on the air fast and help you to avoid common beginner mistakes.
And even if you already have POTA experience, you'll find plenty of pro tips to optimize your station setup and operations.
We recommend having at least a general license for this course, but even if you're still a technician, this course will help you prepare for the next level and get ready to join in the fun.
POTA is an amazing way to build your skills, get in the outdoors, and connect with other hams around the world. So are you ready to start your next adventure?
Sign up for the POTA course today at hamradioprep.com.
With your ham radio license, you can communicate with dozens of satellites in space and even talk with astronauts on the International Space Station who are licensed ham radio operators. In fact, amateur radio is an official backup communication on the ISS, and ham radio is even used in SpaceX missions such as Fram-2, where SSTV images were transmitted from the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. You can use ham radio to communicate with satellites and spacecraft too. All you need is a little knowledge. Join Jim N4BFR, the lead instructor at Ham Radio Prep, in our new Satellite and Space Operations course. In this course, we'll guide you step by step through everything you need to know to take your ham radio operations from beyond the Earth into the satellites and space above us. And guess what? You don't need thousands of dollars in equipment to get started. All you need is at least a technician ham radio license and a basic handheld. We'll show you how to make your first satellite contacts by building your own antenna for less than $50 and build from there. You'll learn how to make contacts thousands of miles away using a satellite as a repeater. You'll learn how to track satellites moving at over 17,500 miles per hour overhead in real time and communicate via voice, SSTV images, APRS, or even bounce your signal off the moon. You'll hear from leading experts in amateur radio space communications directly about cutting-edge projects and initiatives. This course is your gateway into the world of space exploration and communications, where you'll both sharpen your practical operating skills while also learning about the underlying theory and concepts that drive space communications. Seize the opportunity to take your ham radio operations to space and beyond. Sign up today at hamradioprep.com.
Welcome back, everybody. This show has just flown by. We are in hour 2 of the fastest 2 hours in ham radio. 2 jam-packed hours of pure ham radio goodness. Glad to have each and every one of you here with us. And so glad to have our guest, Professor Jim, N4BFR, with us today. Of course, as always, James, Catalina, glad to have you here. Catalina, you weren't here last week. And look, we bring Jim on and Catalina stays till the last segment. So here, you do this more often.
Well, I can't say, but I think that I'm showing that I missed him, right?
I'm so happy to see Catalina smile. It's been months.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jim, we're going to dive into a couple more questions.
Okay.
That we got during the break here in just a second. But first of all, I want to show you a picture here. See if you recognize. See if you recognize this guy. Either of these two guys in this picture here. There we go. Hold that up on screen. There we go.
That looks like John Schofner
Yep.
from Axiom 2. He is a ham. He went up to the space station. He made STEM contacts, including he got to make a contact with his old high school. So sometimes
That's
the
awesome.
contacts are astronaut discretion ones. It's like, hey, I
Absolutely.
want to do this, but I really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
X. So
Absolutely.
John
So,
Schofner.
met John at Dayton Hamvention, shook his hand. He said, "Hey, you're with World Radio League, aren't you? I watch your show, like your videos." So that was really fun. Really fun meeting John, and really fun to find out that World Radio League is the best platform for astronauts to use. So,
And he is a founding member of World Radio League, and we found that out, which was pretty cool. That was a special
John,
moment.
if you're
I heard he
watching
got to
today,
Dayton by way of helicopter, which I'm jealous about too.
oh wow, that's cool.
That's arriving in style.
It was great to meet John. Met a whole lot of great people there at Dayton. That was a really cool one. Of course, there's so many awesome people there. It was really cool. Let's see if I could find the picture. Anyway, I got one of his in-person QSL cards too, but I don't see that picture here. But yeah, anyway, so Jim, let's see if we have any more questions in the chat here. Zach says, what's your recommendation for a good but affordable AZEL rotator for working azimuthal elevation rotator for working the ISS and other AMSAS?
So right now, I have a hard time making a recommendation because I don't have one. What I have chosen to go with is I have an M squared, they call them egg beaters, but I think it's actually called the LEO pack. So it's a 2 meter and 70 centimeter antenna that's set up to work satellites, but doesn't have that. Doesn't take a Yagi and have that directionality. It stays fixed. If you want to see what that looks like, you go back to find the ham radio prep video of James and I working on my tower. We talk a little bit about it in that video.
Okay. James, if you could pull that, that link and drop it in the chat, that would be awesome.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I might actually have found. Let me pull this up, and Jim, you can tell me if this is actually the right. Is this similar to the model here?
Yes, that's exactly the one. The SAT pack.
Awesome.
Okay, the SAT pack. Okay, cool.
SAT pack. Very cool. KA2AUB says he's going to have the teacher reapply and get the principal in on it too. Very nice.
Good. I think the more people you can get supportive, the better. And, get that principal to give you a letter and put it in with the things you're going to do. It shows the whole school impact, because that's really important for the breadth of the group that's going to be impacted when applying is really important to show.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Catalina.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but is this based in the US or people from other countries kind of like?
So,
awesome question.
Most countries can participate. There are, as far as student contact, and I mentioned earlier, it depends on where your country is. But if you go to ARISS, ARISS.org, you can find have a contact section, and that will explain what country is it. Why I kind of say not every country, because there are some restrictions based on space agency governmental requirements. So we work with NASA. We have to follow NASA rules on things like groups we can participate, countries we can participate with. And there are a few, and I'm not trying to call them out specifically, but China's one of them. So we don't do contacts with China from a STEM ham radio contact perspective. They have their own space station and they can do whatever they want. But there's no restrictions on hams around the world. So if you're a ham and you can reach the ISS and want to make a repeater contact with it, or send a packet, or download a SSTV image, any of those things, it's unrestricted around the world. If it flies over your country, use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's local restrictions apply, I should say.
Great question, Catalina.
I want to say I saw something about an Argentina contact not too long ago.
There was a contact with Argentina not too long ago.
Yeah.
Quick aside here while you're looking that up. Super Tech Boy says, hopefully we went to the Dayton National U.S. Air Force Museum. I unfortunately did not make it to the Air Force Museum. I wish I could have. I didn't even know it existed until after the event. So maybe next year. We'll see. I want to get back to Dayton Ham Convention so bad. Dayton Ham Convention was one of the most incredible experiences. So we'll see.
There was a contact in June with France, one with Australia. Here's another one with France. I know there was a one recently with South America. I don't have I'm looking it up. I'll come across it in a second. Here's one with Japan in May.
Cool.
Yeah. So they're definitely happening.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah. So we have a limited amount of time here on the show. So I'm gonna ask you one last question here.
Yeah.
About ISS, and then we're gonna pivot just a little bit and talk about some other stuff. So as far as the ISS, of course, everybody's starting to talk about how it's going to be decommissioned here in a few years. So as far as timeline, when's that going to happen? What's the future of ARISS after that happens? Is there going to be another ISS? What's the plan moving forward?
So we expect to continue operations, ARISS, in some form. So right now the ISS is set to come down between 2030 and 2032. And that's going to depend on what government says and when they say it. There have been some government leaders who said until commercial space stations are established, the ISS will remain, because we always want to maintain a manned presence. Sorry, I'm not supposed to use the word manned. A human presence in space, men and women. So that is kind of where the U.S. government is right now. As far as ARISS goes, we are working on. We have great relationships with some of these commercial space partners. So Axiom is a great example. Every Axiom crew that's gone up to the ISS so far has had their crew make contacts and back home with other people. And we expect to keep doing that. I think Axiom 6 is the next one that's coming up next year. We are working with other commercial, and Axiom's working to build a commercial space station. So, hey, we've done things with them before. They're familiar with us. We're familiar with them. No agreements are announced or anything, but obviously that makes things look good. We have also submitted for other space station groups. We want to make sure that anybody building a space station is aware of our capabilities, both from a science and engineering engagement status, but also, even more important, I think, to a lot of these people, is a backup communications tool. So amateur radio on the International Space Station is a official backup for ISS communications, and they've fired it up and had ground stations ready when there have been communication gaps. It hasn't actually been used, but it has been ramped up and ready to be used for those things. So obviously groups who are building their space stations see the benefit in that, and that'll be a benefit. So one more thing here, though. We're also talking about going to the moon. And not, I say us as America, but also us as NASA. NASA has asked ARISS to consider how we might be able to do amateur radio activity similar to what we're doing on the space station.
Wow. No way.
In lunar experience, with some sort of lunar experience. So obviously we don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Especially on far side of the moon, like, how do you make that happen?
Well, there's a couple of things there, right? So first of all, we had actually been working with NASA on opportunities to do the lunar space station, and we had some prototypes that came out to Hamfest that we showed. We called it the Caviar device, and they were set up to do 5 gigahertz, 10 gigahertz between lunar space station and Earth. So we have some concepts already, but we want to expand on that. Awesome. What power is going to be on the moon is going to make a difference, right? If we're going to do, if we're going to have to go off of solar power or provide our own power, well, that means that we're only going to be able to do something 14 days or so while, the moon can see the sun. And so that would be one thing. If they put up power sources on the moon, like they're talking about power generators up there, then we may be able to connect into that and have 24/7 lunar connectivity. So that's an option. One of the key things here is it won't be 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And I say that because when the lunar team, the NASA International Lunar Team, made the band plan for the moon, they kept 2 meters and 70 centimeters for work on radio telescopes on the dark side of the moon. So in order to not interfere, those bands won't be used. They'll be reserved for radio telescopes, but other bands will be available. And all of this is just what we're starting to think about and coming back to NASA with a proposal with. So there's a whole group spinning up to work on this, and I think everybody's really excited about the opportunity.
Wow, that's really cool.
Do you call that moon? Or
for ARISS, that will be called AREX, AREX, Amateur Radio Exploration, and that's a joint activity between ARISS and AMSAT.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's a little better than Air Moon. I like AREX better.
AREX.
We actually kicked off that work by doing some tracking of Artemis 2 telemetry by some of our AREX ground stations during the Artemis 2 mission. So awesome. we're engaged with NASA on lunar stuff right now.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Guys, we are definitely going to run a little long today, just warning you, because we have more to cover here. So
Sorry.
while we've still got Jim, let's go ahead and turn now to field day. I want to ask you a couple questions about field day.
Sure.
So what is the best? Of course, you get, there's bonuses for using satellite repeaters and such on field day. What's the best way to approach doing that?
Okay, a couple of things. If it was me, I might not try and make the ARISS repeater my first shot, because that's going to be the busiest. So if I'm just a satellite guy wanting to go out and make a satellite contact and get the bonus points, I might try one of the other satellites. Not to try and discourage anybody, and because it's cool to get ARISS, and potentially there could be astronauts on there, and that would be exciting. But I'm just saying, if I really wanted to lock in bonus points, the ARISS repeater is the hardest one to get on. Everybody wants to get on the ARISS repeater. So think about one of the other satellites, RS-44. There's a whole bunch out there. You can go and research that yourself. The other thing I will say is that if you want the satellite bonus points, you don't get them for talking to an astronaut on the station, because the satellite, and ARISS has worked with ARRL on this to make sure the rules are clear. And the rules say for 100 bonus points, you have to make a ground-based, space-based repeater contact. And if you're talking to somebody in space on the station, you are not making a space-based repeater contact. So if you talk to the crew, you don't get the bonus points. But if you're able to just work through the repeater another station, that's worth the bonus points.
So why is that? Why do you not? That seems like it's a big enough challenge that you ought to get some sort of a bonus for being able to pull that off.
Not my event. I don't know. Haven't heard why. I just know what the rules are because I've been asked to share them.
Very nice.
I'm gonna show this really quick. Peter had a good question. How do you log a satellite contact within WRL? So just the trick here is that you want to be, I'll just write any old logbook name, but when you select the template, you can switch over to the satellite template, which is going to give you the satellite field. So this will have a drop down menu for the satellites. You can put in the ISS on here, or if we're doing RS-44, they're all in here. You can also type it in if for some reason it doesn't pull up in the drop down. You enter the details, and then boom, you've got a satellite contact. And on field day specifically, what's great is, I hope you guys can see my my screen. Okay, there's the bonuses section. So just make sure if you get one to select that satellite QSO bonus, and that will put your 100 points.
And if you're planning on working satellites during field day, you can actually make a custom template to include the satellite field in that. So
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and even if it is a little bit tricky with this one because you have your you have this, but it doesn't have the satellite field on there for field day. You could even just log it and drop it as a note and then go back and edit it later if you wanted to add some more satellite data.
And here's another thing. There's no class and section that apply to the International Space Station. All the sections are terrestrial based. So it could be one alpha, but what are you going to put?
Beyond DX. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So another question for you. Has Professor Jim ever picked up Voyager?
No, I would love to be able to. So I think once I get more settled here in Studio 73, I will be looking into future enhancements to be able to do these kind of things. The next thing I'm hoping to actually pull in my station is not to go to ARISS in particular, but I'm going there. There is an ARISS feature called Ham TV. And on 2.395 gigahertz, they transmit a signal. And sometimes during these STEM contacts with schools, they will transmit the crew member answering the questions live via Ham TV video. So I would like to be able to have a station that can do that. I've got some radios that I think can do it. I do not have the antenna gear yet. to support that, which will include getting a dish and a really fast rotator. So I'm excited.
All right. Peter says, what can't WRL do? Very little, Peter. Very little. He also says we need a Professor Jim segment every week. You got a fan, Jim.
You come a long way, baby, at the WRL. That's for sure. Maybe not every week, but maybe, as my schedule frees up, I can get on.
I'm totally down for bringing you back on as a guest appearance every once in a while if you're up for it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, if y'all don't mind, I'm getting near the end of my time and I got to go prep for going out of town. So
absolutely. James Catalina, any last questions for Jim before he drops? All right, Jim.
Catalina's just smiling at me.
Thank you so much, Jim, for stopping by. We really, really appreciate it. And
my pleasure. Glad to be here.
Back on here in a few weeks.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be back, and maybe next time I can talk about how the contact went and whatever else we got to talk about.
Absolutely, that would be incredible.
All right, 73, everybody.
73.
Thanks, Professor.
3.
We definitely have some more stuff to talk about here, and we're going to go ahead and dive into that. I failed to get the general question in the "Are you smarter than Ham Radio Pro grad?" We might have to do that next week. I'm not sure. We're going to see. We're running up against the clock here. Quick question from Super Tech Boy: any more courses on the roadmap for Ham Radio Prep? I'm glad you asked. James, do you have anything to say here?
I'm gonna let you say it. I'll let you handle this.
Well, all right. So we have the Morse Mastery app that is nearing production readiness, and we are absolutely looking at producing some training videos to pair with Morse Mastery to create the Mastering CW course. And so I'm really excited about this. I think I'm going to be hopefully producing some, working on recording some of these videos, and I'm really excited about it. So hopefully that excites y'all as well. And I want to show you some of the incredible things that we've got going on in Morse Mastery. Real quick here, HamKJ5 says, you got a vanity call sign when you insert a search call sign and the top, his name doesn't come out. Who can I contact to fix that? Just drop a bug report in, and we'll have the team take a look at that for you, because I think, nope. I back up. I know how to fix it already. MKJ5, literally do put your call sign in the call sign box like you're making a contact, then clear it. That fixes it. Boom. It pulls the new lookup information.
Ooh. That
fixes the problem. So just put your new call sign in the call sign box, let it run the lookup, then you'll be good to go. Quick tip from my years of experience. All right. James, are you ready to take a look at Morse Mastery?
I'm super excited for Morse Mastery today.
All right. Let's take a quick look. I don't think Catalina's seen some of the new updates. Catalina was too busy watching Messi score how many goals? 2 goals? Whatever it was.
2 today.
Who must have scored the last goal like at the very end of the game? Because I was looking and I was like,
yes. It was like in the middle. They added 5 minutes, and he scored in the 4th minute. So it was like insane. I shouted at one.
All right. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's go ahead and do a share screen here. Here we go. Here is Morse Mastery. And it's in dark mode so that James
I haven't taken my lesson today. I have to.
All right. So this is the
I need to get
homepage.
a lesson streak going.
You can see we've got a new nav bar over here on the side. And this is our homepage here. This shows your proficiency broken down over all these categories. Your keyer setup, all the different modules that you can use. Then we've got navigation, a brand new navigation bar on the left here. So you got your course navigation. This looks new. This looks really new. Changed a lot of stuff here. Your live chat. Of course, something goes wrong just as I'm pulling it up. But anyway, live chat here. I already know Morse. Apparently, this thing was working through. Anyway, I think the session expired. Let's go back to chat here. Yeah, enter live chat. So now I should be able to go. There we go. There we go. So you know, you can see that that live chat going on there, and I can go. Let's see here. There. Hi. Then we've got, of course, our CW Games section. This is going to be updated a little bit to kind of improve the layout, probably a little bit here on CW Games. Just practice. You can practice receiving, sending, head copy, copying, hold chunks rather than letter by letter, exchanges, that type of thing. The input lab, this might be removed altogether because of some of the updates we've made. There's some of the stuff that we've got here for debugging purposes, and we'll probably pull it before the hard launch. But anyway, so activities, this shows like some of the last game activities and stuff that you've done, and you know, you can look back through that. That'll probably get a little bit of a refresh. Skill check, you can go in here and check your skill level. And it'll give you a recommendation here. Of course, you got your settings page. There we go. There's your settings. Some of that has some of that debugging stuff shown here. So like I said, some of the debugging and that type of thing will get cleaned up. Then we've got, James got a big kick out of me calling this legacy system, but this is the original Morse mastery before we added all the course information to this. So, I don't know. It's up to James whether he wants to keep it around or not. We can just pull it all together if he wants to. But
yeah, or we could like maybe we could stick it. If it you know, we could stick it on a hidden URL for you know,
for the OG
for the for the retro mode, you know.
All right.
Archive.
Yeah, keep giving it a try. I'm going to make James furious by going into light mode briefly.
I've actually been using light mode with this app now. Yeah, I don't know why. I know I've been like dark mode, like Die Hard, but for whatever reason I started using light mode with this app.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to turn this into a mobile app. Really excited about this. You know, you'll have your daily practice streak will be up here, and of course your account right there. So, guys,
yeah. I feel you.
Keep throwing feedback at me. Super excited for our team challenge. We've already introduced some of the team to this, and I tell you what, one of the developers, one of the video editors, they're picking up so fast on Morse code, and it was awesome to hear some of their feedback. So really excited.
This is your sign. If you have been thinking about learning Morse code, I'm speaking to myself here. I'm speaking to myself. This is your sign to learn Morse code this year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, I must say that I was not into Morse code before I got this box, and then I didn't know how to install it, and Ahmed helped me, and I started trying, and I couldn't stop. The first lesson, it was like, oh my God, I can't stop doing this.
Yes, I'm loving this feedback. I'm loving this.
Are you doing the course mode, Catalina, or did you go to the chat? What'd you do?
No, I'm a teacher, so I'm doing lesson by lesson, task by task.
Oh.
Wow.
very.
I was on a call with Surafel, and those of you who know Morse code will understand this a little bit more. But I was on a call with Surafel, one of our developers, and he was walking through it, and he's having a hard time discerning each dit and da, and he said he was almost like feeling bad because the only way what I'm doing is I'm just memorizing the complete sound of the character instead of each individual dit and da. I said, man, that is what I wanted to hear. That is how you're supposed to learn, is by memorizing the complete sound of the character. So it was
repetition,
the dits and das. So it was so incredible to get that feedback, and once he caught on that was really how he was supposed to learn, bam, he took off, and I mean he's doing great with his course now. So I'm so excited. Because
I took the first
I'm coming to
lesson.
this from the perspective of knowing some Morse code. So for me, it's I don't get the perspective of somebody new coming in to learn it. So I don't know how it's affecting people. So when I get feedback like this, it makes me happy. Makes me really happy. Go ahead, Catalina.
No, that I was taking lesson 1 and then lesson 2, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I forgot about the previous ones. So I was going to text you like, hey, Andy, maybe we need like a practice of letters. And then I went like down and we got how he got it. Like I need that because I don't know if I am going to like remind like the E sound that it's at the beginning. Like
Absolutely.
I was worried about that. And
So
that's kind of cool.
In lesson 1, you learn REA. In lesson 2, you learn TIN and then repeat REA. And then in lesson 3, you learn PSG and then repeat TIN. You keep doing that 6 characters at a time down to lesson 6. Then you review all the characters you've learned up to that point. And yeah, it's really took a lot of quite a bit of thought into putting this thing together. But it looks like it's paying off. I mean, people telling me that it's addicting and that they're learning characters by the complete sound instead of by counting dits and dots. That makes it all worth it for me. And I'm so excited and so happy to see people learning Morse code. And I want this to be available for everybody to learn Morse code. And yes, you can configure using a Halla-Key MIDI adapter or a V-band adapter, or you can use your computer keyboard as a paddle or a straight key, or you can use an audio input. It's pretty accurate if your audio is good. We will also be adding the Halla-Key serial adapter eventually, and hopefully the CW Morse LLC adapter as well. So yeah, we've got all kinds of adapter options. So let me know. We've got a whole Morse mastery channel in Discord. So let me know if you have any feedback. Just please put it in there. Like I said, Discord link is in the description below this live stream. Any final thoughts, James, Catalina, either one of you, before we call it a show? We're gonna have to save the general and extra questions for next week. We're just flat out of time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome show. I thought Jim talking about the ARISS and the talking about having like amateur radio on the moon is just really cool.
So cool. So awesome. And guys, James, we need to do some brainstorming, but I would love to somehow start a whole community CW competition of some sort. So we're going to have to do some brainstorming.
Yeah, we, especially with the live features and stuff, maybe we can have something special for the people in the live show, whether they're just learning some letters and we do some group practice and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for coming along for another awesome episode of the World Radio League Show. So glad to have both co-hosts in their chairs for the whole show. At least, Catalina showed up after the first segment, but it's just awesome to have you guys here. Great to have Professor Jim back. We're going to have another great show, of course, queued up for you next week. So do not miss it. Do not miss episode 55 of the World Radio League Show. This will be our post field day show. So we might have some cool stories, some interesting information for you.
Let's get over 20,000 contacts, over 20K within
Catalina,
WRL.
we need you on Echo Link or something for field day. Come on.
Well. You are teaching me Morse code. Now you want me to wait, Andy, wait. I'm watching the World Cup.
Guys,
World Cup, Messi, Morse code. It's a lot of information.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining us once again. It's been an awesome show, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Whenever you play the music, you mute your mic.
Well, that's weird. Okay. Well, guys, we'll try that. We'll try that one more time. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for coming along for another fantastic episode of the World Radio League Show. I'm Andy N0APX. James, Catalina, thank you guys for coming along.
Thank you, Andy. It was
73.
fun.
Thank you, Andy.
73, guys. As I said, do not miss episode 55. We'll have a plenty more to talk about for you then. So be sure. Whoops, there went my audio again. Be sure and come back next week, and we've got some awesome stuff to share with you next week, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Andy N0APX, your extra host here on the World Radio League Show, saying 73, and I'm clear. Did it.